124 picks, 31 teams said no. They called him entitled, unprepared, a liability. But what happened Friday night will change everything you thought you knew about Shedeur Sanders. Let's go back to April 25th, 2025. Draft Day. Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, was sitting at home watching pick after pick go by. Analysts had him as a potential first overall selection. Some even called him the most NFL-ready quarterback in the class. But then something unprecedented happened. The first round came and went. No Sanders. The second round, still nothing. By the end of the third round, social media was in chaos. How was this possible? NFL insiders started leaking stories. "Worst interview I've ever been in," said one anonymous coach. "Horrible body language, but not my own," said another. They painted him as entitled, unprepared, and more concerned with his brand than football. And when he got to Cleveland, 2 speeding tickets, 101 emperor. The narrative was set. Shedeur Sanders was a bust before he even played a snap. But sometimes destiny has other plans. Kenny Pickett, injured. Dillon Gabriel, injured. Joe Flacco, resting. Suddenly, the 4th-string quarterback who hadn't taken a single snap with the first team was getting the call. Kevin Stefanski told him he'd get about 50 snaps. This wasn't just a preseason game anymore. This was Shedeur's one shot to prove everyone wrong. And did you see how he walked into that stadium? Boombox blaring, confidence radiating. This wasn't a player scared of the moment. This was Primetime's son, and he was about to show the world why that bloodline matters. The first 3 drives, rough. 3 and outs, incomplete passes. The doubters were already tweeting, "I told you so." But champions aren't made in perfect moments. They're made when everything's on the line. 4th drive, Carolina fumbles the punt. Cleveland has the ball in the red zone. This is it. This is the moment that would define Shedeur Sanders' NFL career. Watch this throw. Rolling left, 2 defenders closing in, and he threads it perfectly to Caden Davis. 7 yards, first NFL touchdown. The crowd goes silent, then erupts. Deion's watching at home and immediately tweets, "Yes, Lord, yes!" But this wasn't just a proud father moment. This was validation. But Shedeur wasn't done. Late in the second quarter, another masterpiece. Shuffling in the pocket, defenders all around him, he delivers a strike to Davis again. 12 yards, touchdown number 2. And that's when the king himself took notice. LeBron James, Cleveland royalty, starts tweeting, "That young king looking good out there." But then he says something that gives you chills. And I don't want to hear that it's only preseason BS. If he was out there struggling, y'all would be destroying him. Think about that. LeBron James, who knows what it's like to carry a city's hopes, who understands pressure better than almost anyone, is telling the world to respect what they just witnessed. Let's break down what actually happened on that field. 14 of 23 completions, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But the stats don't tell the whole story. Watch how he handles pressure. This was the biggest knock on him at Colorado. Holding the ball too long, taking unnecessary sacks. But against NFL-level competition, he's moving in the pocket, finding lanes, making quick decisions. The accuracy? Pinpoint. Short passes, intermediate routes, and that back shoulder throw to Davis? That's NFL-caliber precision. This isn't college anymore. These windows are smaller, the defenders are faster, and he's still finding ways to deliver the ball exactly where it needs to be. But here's what impressed me most, his composure. Getting in and out of the huddle with authority. Making protection calls. This doesn't look like a 4th-string quarterback getting his first shot. This looks like a guy who belongs. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Those pre-draft interviews. The character concerns. The speeding tickets. NFL teams thought they saw a player who cared more about his image than winning. But after the game, Sanders did something that might have surprised his critics. He took accountability. "Sorry, Pops, I didn't do what I was supposed to do fully," he said to his father. This isn't arrogance, this is a perfectionist who knows he can be better. History is full of players who had character questions early in their careers. Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger, even Tom Brady had teams questioning his leadership ability. Sometimes the best quarterbacks are the ones who aren't perfect. They're the ones who learn from their mistakes. So, what does this mean for Cleveland? They've got a crowded quarterback room, but Shedeur just made himself impossible to ignore. Joe Flacco is the veteran placeholder. Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel are injury concerns. And now you've got a rookie who just proved he can perform on the biggest stage. But think about this from the perspective of the other 31 teams. How many of them need a quarterback? How many of them passed on Sanders multiple times? The Raiders, who have Tom Brady as a minority owner and a clear need at quarterback? The Giants, still searching for their franchise guy? The internet is already calling it one of the biggest draft steals in recent memory. Nike turned his wrist celebration into an ad before the game even ended. The momentum is building. Here's what happened Friday night. We didn't just watch a good preseason performance. We watched the birth of a narrative that could define the next decade of NFL football. Tom Brady, pick 199, Antonio Brown, 6th round. Russell Wilson, 3rd round. Sometimes the best players aren't the ones everyone expects. They're the ones who use being overlooked as fuel. Shedeur has something you can't teach and can't draft, that clutch gene. When the lights were brightest, when everyone was watching, and his future was on the line, he delivered. Not just once, but twice.